talked about that kind of thing. I'm not personally in favour of criminal laws, but I'm not sure that we should place that decision on the organisation at this point. What you're trying to do is make us make that decision now.
Implementing marijuana laws in several nations of the world through criminal law.
We're not. We're not saying that we do.
Democracy at stake here, and we should at least file a complaint to the Japanese government for that. These are just two recent happenings that are connected with this conference are lower, and there is no objective or scientific reason for it. Because there is no such a justifiable reason for it, it's the fault of political unwillingness from the served. People who are by and large maybe critical of what society laws were even disguised by care. Maybe they just didn't want to have to do anything with those Egyptians, Black Americans, along with Hippies. I don't know.
Overlooked, like I remember Neil Phillips, he was sitting surrounded by beautiful ladies on the cover of Opposite, a beautiful statement, which is part of the message we are all carrying around into whatever future. All these photographers to eternalize. Something I unequivocally know, which brings us to Herbert Marcuse, was that needs to be told that the real fight is not the political fight, but to put an end to there's so many serious speakers. I think it's very three words which Queen Wilhelmina gave to the heraldry of Amsterdam. 3 words of the thing we said, in a way, and I hope it's true, characterize Amsterdam as heaven for what you call atheists, outsiders, people who are heretics all over the world. Whatever thing they're in, whatever struggle is there, whatever barricade they're on, I think it's like solidarity. Thank you very much.
So I asked for some cooperation. It's like between 6 and 8 o'clock. The restaurant downstairs in the... We will be looking for full observer status on the United Nations, and Bill is going to say a little bit more about that later. I'd just like to fill in a few more points. Why we have this and how the organization is going to look, we hope. Basic brief of ICAR deal with the right for a drug offense, that it seems they don't have to observe the usual niceties of human rights. I mean, I say that, for instance, with cancer.
More of it in the drug field than there is anywhere else. I mean, it's on the issue of drugs. Various cities of the world have done most. It was basically the same person who set it up in the sky. After his career in the narcotic
Trees explain what they are. This is a fairly new concept for our countries. And if a country says, yes, I'm interested, then we put them together and close this country and this country. The United States has at least 3 pending right now. One with Panama, one with Turkey, and one with Peru. Have passed the U.S. Senate, and we're waiting for them to go. We have existing now prisoner transfer treaties, one with Guinea's prisoner transfer between the United States and other countries. There is a European convention which is being worked on right now that we'd like to look into. Oh, we also have one pending with Turkey. I don't know if I mentioned that. It's passed more prisoner transfer treaties, and it's a concept that you can take home with, and we'll talk about these more during the prisoner workshop, of course. Let's talk about what you can do at home. At home, you can start educating the people about cannabis, the reality of cannabis, educate your government about the reality of cannabis, put pressure on your government to support of being arrested, being prosecuted, and this conference is a kickoff place for international marijuana or cannabis law reform. going on right now. So keep up the good work, keep the faith, and keep changing the laws. Thank you. We'll entertain questions now. We have some extra time.
Theory of mushroom, not the Sunday school lessons, but whether they ate mushroom or not, they reacted to the experience in ways that apparently then and not now are looked upon with eyes by the authorities. They become conscious of themselves. They became aware of good and evil, and they made judgments according to this knowledge. This behavior is done in private, usually behind closed doors. So really how? Well, with very, very few exceptions, such as coming across one in the course of an unrelated incident, a traffic accident, speeding, whatever, or by simply studies, well, come to life. So you have very selective enforcement which can be used.
Could be traced to the concern of several governments, the Egyptian, 2 or 3 individuals who pushed very, very hard for cannabis prohibition. I know especially Russell Pasco, Bureau, but actually it's very logical because by the end, criminal police station had become Interpol, and Interpol had become...
We noted, however, that the state of Bengal was only one of several schemes among many provinces. Variations on this approach existed in other states, infiltrations, reflecting the degree of administrative and fiscal controls exerted by the imperial government. There have apparently been controversies as to the possible noxious effects of cannabis drugs, at least
One powerful colonel was finally obliged to make a statement about his involvement in the Indian Dharma.
Guashijara. That I witnessed the federal police interrogator give him 2 blows on the ears with cupped hands.
Jemand ein halbes Jahr bekommen, da ging es um die Menge von 0,12 Gramm. Und der Klient stand vor dem Richter und fragte, kann ich das Piece mal sehen? Und das Piece war eigentlich nicht vorstellbar, es war einfach zu klein. Darüber hinaus hatte ich in den Köpfen
go to the highest court of the land and make a question you, and they don't accept you because you are somebody of the street, you know. We made something, you know. We again like these papers going around and asking people for an action in front of this highest court in Switzerland, and we made this man provide something important. Yes, you are all somehow European, you know, American, France, and we in Europe, we can do something, you know, and that everyone is going to do as much possible as what he can for himself, you know. And in the end, you have the cost, and you don't have to pay that. I'm living like that, I have nothing, you know. And has learned me that to, yes, somehow, keep inside and not eat too much to become, you know. There are bad people, yes, not all are these, but there are, we are eating too much, there are about 70.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak. We come from 2 members and the founder of that wanted to come here, but Japanese government don't allow to give him a passport, did not come here. And I want to speak about hearing abuse has become a social problem, and the penalty of the narcotic was strengthened as a countermeasure. This was taken to strengthen the penalty of the cannabis control law as well. Thus, with no valid justification, the option of a fine for violation of the cannabis control law was abolished in 1960. So the cannabis control law in Japan is very severe. Chinese people are much interested in Indian culture. And the Indian culture, to use in the meditation of yoga, is to use cannabis. So many people have become to use cannabis because of interest in meditation, like yoga. And another influence is because Indian people like to Western music, so they music. And when someone rock and roll, and so in that case they are interested in cannabis. So the people who smoke marijuana is very interesting. If possible, we want to have an action to the United Nations country's authority. So, okay, my English is not sorry, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
A lot of dedication to get here. Dr. Arne,
I want to put a question in a bit. We had very recently the arrest of Paul McCartney in Japan. And what I wanted to know is how Japanese law, being so repressive and stiff, that Paul McCartney was held in prison only a few days, when I guess that other normal people wouldn't have this kind of treatment.
Paul McCartney, he has having 20 grams of cannabis, 200. In the case,
Okay, I'll read it again. If in any country there may be one or more members as well as one or more affiliates, an annual meeting of all ICAR members, affiliates and sponsors in that country shall take part. The meeting.
But with a lot of money inside, but many people, a society and things like that, that for me is a corporation. And if you and me, because of marijuana, that is not a corporation, that's me.
Okay, would you like to speak?
Yeah, I just wanted to point out
There are some countries who don't grow seven plants of cannabis. And we all the varieties of the cannabis. And that fact that you can grow a good together. They can import. If you don't have multinational corporation, they can import. We were talking about all of this.
We feel that their current policy with the single convention is contrary to their statement of human rights in their charter, and we would like to point this out. I would favor Don's resolution more to frame a moral stance rather than to become specifically involved in geopolitical issues.
We have a policeman on you. We have a policeman here. The government and the church. Then you have to speak freely about all the things, and we ask all the people to
together. We have to fight for nothing else as human beings.
And we're going to have a chairperson funds the legalised cannabis campaign, and there's been something of a backbone to legalisation of England. It's legal doers that's going to share it.
They don't bring it at the national scale, because they don't talk to each other at the national scale, or because they've been quite overlong, very positive. So they bring it to an ICA conference, and we spend a conference talking about various national things happening in various national countries. Okay, we should cut that out the next conference, and we should make provision for it so it won't happen. A national federation, like an umbrella over different, just as being a main thing. And I'm like the ombudsman, I'm not so...
So I can't tell anything more. I would like to meet with all the people in Holland who want to legalize care. But what Heinz is doing now is talking about voting rights. We didn't introduce it that way. And let's keep it pure. It's because this is about who is going to vote and will be voting with the Dutch people and so on and so on and so on.
I think it's important to say that and talk together.
Maybe you would have had the same thing in Italy, and other countries have the same problem.
And some countries are suffering from this problem because very few people countries are able to come to the problem at all.
Yeah, they can.
For a guarantee that these members or these now so-called affiliates will have input, and that they won't be said, yeah, we're going to the next international conference and we'll speak for you. They want to know what people are going to be speaking for them for. And that's why they're proposing this. Not because we don't all agree that we should talk to each other.
Yes, I think that's important. It's important that this becomes a...
will be for marijuana movements a sort of United Nations. I mean, the only international organization speaking, not really a representative, because, but something like that, of at least 10 countries or maybe more.
Is that clear? Shall we read it again?
So I shall read it with my Dutch accent, and you should say when the resolution ends and your commentary starts.
The real issue under this is that personal actions interfere directly in a negative way with others. And that's all I have to say about it.
And opposed? Right, and those abstaining?
I think
On the eligibility of the 8 national members who are now members of ICA. The reason that those people, in a way by chance, in a way by being active and members of ICA, is because they know that they can rely on one another. Okay. Now, they're not an enclosed group of people. If you look at there are a lot of different points of view, and I think on the direct question, the Italian Radical Party is extremely effective direct action, and the Italian Radical Party is a member of ICA. So direct action groups are definitely not excluded. Basically, what this constitution is trying to do is to establish a practical working operation. And the practical working operation is that if you have a good functioning organisation, and it's not trying to rip off anybody, then there's no reason why they shouldn't be members.
These people join and become affiliates of ICA. So should we withdraw?
Okay? The members are people who have put a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of work into trying to legalize marijuana righteously. Those are the people that are putting the graft into making the operation function, okay? They are not people who are into keeping the organization